Hey, so it has been about a week since I made my first video. The first one was called My Life with Depression, and I pretty much cried throughout the whole thing. And what I really stressed last week was that you're not alone. And that's something that I really struggled with in my depression and my mental health is feeling alone. And wow, honestly, wow, so many people reached out to me this week. So many people told me their stories. I think that was actually my favorite part. I had so many people come to me that, I had no idea were struggling with anything, depression or otherwise, and tell me too, and tell me their stories, tell me really, really intimate parts of their lives. And that was honestly life changing. It's all these people that I didn't know that well, I feel like I know 1,000 times better. And that makes me feel a lot better because this is obviously really scary. When I first sat down to make that first video, I still don't have anything planned. I don't plan what I say, I just kind of go for it. I don't really sit down to make a video until I feel like I actually need to talk. And at that moment last week, I couldn't be silent anymore. I just had to tell you guys how I'm feeling, and I just had to let it out. It just felt like I had it all bottled up inside, and I had to let it go. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't get one negative anything. Everyone was so loving, so supportive. You guys let me be honestly super vulnerable and just lay it all out. And it was really nice that there was no judgment. There are so many people that still don't understand mental health, don't understand depression, anxiety, bipolar, anything like that. There's people that still think it's a choice, or think that self-harming is a choice, or that it's an attention-seeking thing. It is definitely not. Go educate yourself, read some literature. It is not like that at all. And I have had to have those conversations with people that are really close to me. People that are very important in my life that know, I don't self-harm for attention, and people don't self-harm for attention. That's actual sign, a physical sign of the pain that they're going through mentally. And no, it doesn't just depend on the outside world. You could have a perfect life and still be so depressed. And so it's not the same for anyone. But it was really cool this week to not have any of those really negative conversations surrounding depression. It was all very uplifting. Like I said, I got a lot of stories. Some of them broke my heart. But the most amazing part about them was that every single one ended on a note of hope. Every single one said, I've been here, I've done this happened to me, and you can do it too. We can take care of each other. And I really, it sounds kind of funny, but I feel like I have, more of a depression support group, a sad club, where I know that if I am really, really in one of those dark places, that I can reach out to someone who, last week I would have had no idea I could reach out to. And there are many, many people that have come to me this week and that I know I could talk to now. And that's huge. That's huge. Also huge, I have not self-harmed since I started making these videos. Go me. Also, some of you guys might have seen if you follow me on Snapchat, but I just got accepted to a partial hospitalization program, and I'm so excited. I had to do an interview and an application and all this stuff, and I was really nervous I wasn't going to get in, especially on such short notice. But with the severity of my crisis and the severity of my self-harm and suicidal thoughts, they kind of shot me up to the top of the waiting list, and thank God it's covered by my insurance. We found one that was covered by my insurance. And so I actually started on Friday. It was my first day, and I'm there all day long. So Partial hospitalization is like one step down from inpatient. And inpatient's kind of like hospitalization. That's like the most like serious. And then it kind of works its way down. And they gave me a lot of pamphlets. I'm going to be sharing with you guys throughout this whole process, everything I'm learning. So hopefully, even if like you've never been to like a partial hospitalization or inpatient kind of thing or DBT groups, that I can just get into all that and share all my knowledge. But anyways, so the very, very top one is outpatient care. And so I am one step below that or inpatient care. I am one step below that. It's called outpatient or partial hospitalization. So I do go to the hospital every day and I spend my whole day there. And it's a Monday through Friday thing. And it's pretty much like going to school or going to a job. I'm there all day. And then I get to go home at night and sleep in my own bed. So, like, that's, like, the main difference. People that are in inpatient care are just sleeping there, you know, and maybe they need to, like, be near doctors while they sleep or be monitored at night, that kind of thing. Doesn't mean you're crazy. Like, you know, everyone kind of gets the idea of, like, white padded walls. That is not the case at all. That's, you know, that's not what it's like. And it was really, really cool. So my first day was kind of hard because I didn't really know anyone else in the group. There are 9 of us. Our ages range from 18 to 64. I'm 22, so I was on the younger side, and there were a lot more older folks than I thought there were going to be. So that was really cool too. And pretty much you just go through a series of classes. Like, it's literally just like a school. So you stay in the same place and the teachers come to you, which is really cool. And they cycle in and they teach you different things. So, you know, there's like spirituality and coping mechanisms and like how to deal with stressors. And they're different classes and they're each an hour long. And they just come in, they teach a class. You can take notes, whatever, and then they leave. I honestly, the first day, came home and bawled. Like, it was very, very stressful for me. It was really, really difficult. Just to, like, sit in the same place for so long. And, you know, you really have to focus on me and, like, your internal thoughts and what's going on with you. And you pretty much have to accept, like, I have an issue. Like, I'm really sick. I need to be here. I need to get better. But everyone in the class was super nice and positive, and it was a really relaxing atmosphere. It was so weird. Like, things I didn't even think of, but that were perfect. They, like, had, like, music playing, or they would play ambient noises to kind of distract us. They had, like, a bunch of fidget toys. So, you know, if you're really nervous and you want something to play with, that you can. And they don't force you to speak. The only thing they said that they really wanted to hear from everyone was names. Other than that, you learn, and then you can raise your hand and say something if you want. And I have to be in this program for at least 10 days, so at least 2 weeks. And I started on a Friday, so I should be done, if everything goes according to plan, like 2 Fridays from now. And I will keep you guys updated on everything that's happening and how it's going. Like I said, I did cry. It was really stressful. At this place, they have psychiatrists on call and people that like work in pharmacy so that they can talk to you about your medications. And the medication I was on was helping with my depression, but was not helping at all with my anxiety. And I was still having a lot of problems, you know, with like suicidal thoughts and self-harming. And those are super common for young adults on antidepressants. So even though it's helping, it still might not do the full job. And so they have switched me from the Effexor that I was on to Prozac. And Prozac makes me really nervous because it's like very, very well known to cause suicidal ideation, self-harming, that kind of thing. But I was even more nervous because Effexor, the one that I just stopped, has super bad withdrawal effects. Like, really bad. Like, sometimes people have to be hospitalized while they're getting off it. And the way switching medication works is that you usually have to step down on one, wean yourself off of one, then completely stop, let your body detox, and then you can start taking a new one. And you have to start super low and titrate, work your way up. Because I'm in this program and I'm being monitored in the hospital, even though I'm not sleeping there, they can change my medication more aggressively. And they did not step me down or step me up. They just completely made me stop one and start taking another one. And over the next 2 weeks, they're going to be doubling or tripling my dosage that they just gave me for the first time on Friday. And that's super terrifying too, because every single medication out there, you'll hear it from anyone, every single medication can have a different effect on every single person at any dose. And, even if you feel like there is a medication that's working for you at a certain dose, it might not continue to work at that dose for a certain period of time. So you might feel great for a couple days and then suicidal from there on out. You don't really know. It's honestly a crapshoot, and it's super scary to know that you are intentionally messing with your mind. It's terrifying to be what's real? What emotions are real right now? Which ones are not? Am I feeling effects of the medication, or is it in my head? Am I just hoping to feel effects, or, is it a placebo? And that is super hard for me right now. That is something that I'm really struggling with. So I am on Prozac, and I just started it. I still probably can't even feel anything. You usually don't feel the full effects until 4 to 6 weeks of starting a new antidepressant, but because they are doing it so much quicker, hopefully I should see effects soon, and hopefully I will get to a therapeutic or effective dose soon. But it has been crazy. I was withdrawing from my Effexor and shaking and sweating and nauseous and crying, and then I started taking my Prozac, which alleviates the symptoms of withdrawal for Effexor, which is really good. And then I was feeling better, but then I'd see a sad commercial on TV and I would just burst into tears. Like I was so emotionally on edge, just hyper sad. But then I would just go into stretches of feeling fine and really relaxed, almost sedated. It's supposed to really help with the anxiety more, and then just burst into tears again. And since that night, I haven't really been feeling withdrawals from Effexor, which is really good. I was really, really nervous about it. But the longer it's out of my system, the less is in my system. So a couple days from now or after the weekend, that's when it might really, really hit. So I am still nervous for that, watching out for that. But at least that I, through this program, have the psychiatrist that I can talk to anytime I want. They're always there every day, which makes it super helpful. So I'm getting the mind treatment, the coping skills and everything, and then I'm getting the physical treatment as well. It's a lot. I'm currently back at my parents' house in Mukilteo. I just didn't feel safe staying by myself at home in Seattle. I'm also having roommate trouble, of course, because when I'm going through hospitalization, that's when I need all my roommates to bitch at me, right? So I'm hiding out. I've been crying a lot, but I feel a lot more hopeful. And taking this first step and seeing how the next week goes at this program, I am really nervous, but I'm also super, super hopeful that this is the right move and that this is going to be that jumping off point to start tackling my problems. For a long time, I think I've been really just trying to deal with them myself, and I finally accepted that I can't do this alone. I'm sick. I need doctors, I need medicine, I need therapists. But my support groups and, my support system is just growing. And I feel if you guys can all do it, that I can do it too. And maybe if you're out there and you're watching this and you feel you can't do it, you can do it. There are so many resources. The more that I learn this week, I'm just going to post about it. But honestly, just reach out, talk to people. I've gotten so many great messages this week about people telling me like what they do to cope with stress or anxiety or depression or, suicidal thoughts. And I've just started making lists, and I'm just writing down everyone's ideas. And in this program, they gave us like a booklet of like coping skills and stuff, and it's super awesome. And we just start checking off like ones we want to try, and it's honestly probably going to be the greatest thing ever, but a lot of work. So everyone cross their fingers for me, root for me. The next 2 weeks are probably going to be really intense. But I'll try to keep you guys updated as I learn like more tips and tricks, and I'll keep you updated on the medication as well. Fingers crossed that goes well. All right, so thank you guys for checking back in. I hope you're glad to see that I'm like not crying this time. I know I definitely am. But yeah, stay safe out there and watch out for each other.